This is Global Missing Persons Alert. Interpol Yellow Notice Number 21-22733, and it's 11:43 p.m. Monday, August 25th. Okay, I'm about to fuck America, a new fucking asshole. So, this is going to be a narration of the boot lip Igor with an N, Dawn Mars of Great Oaks, human trafficking housing. Dawn and Ty Mars, Department of Homeland Security, FEMA contracted, cult of Scientology, human trafficking housing. So, in response to America's cyber warfare, I've been taking the thousands of pictures out of my device's albums, and I've been saving them in albums right here on Facebook. Yes or no, Kylie Rylester? It's a real simple question. Did you kill Charlie Niang after I exposed him on September 14th, 2018? Answer the question, you stupid drunk lizard. That was to Kelly Rylester at phone number 1-2-3-9-645-1880. That was in 2018 after the Hillary Pfizer pharmaceutical operation for the Alex Navery Ishmael MBA and the Nicholas Nemeth, the son of Kelly Rylester, NHL contracts, and the CIA, Department of Homeland Security, and cult of Scientology, which is the Navy, secret spy operative contracts that me and my family were sacrificed as the occult blood ritual sacrifice for a Judeo-Christian, Luciferian, human flesh-eating, human blood-drinking, cannibalistic feast, because that's what Judeo-Christian Satanists and Luciferians do. That is America's Christianity. So, that's why the page looks like this. These will be hidden. These are for my own personal use. I just left them here while I'm operating for no other reason than for purposes of exploitation and paranoia. While I run this PSYOP like the CIA runs the mainstream media to cause mass panic and hysteria among dumb America's dumb public. Well, they're so extremely paranoid. This sex trafficking human trafficker right here, and he told me that he is related to Peter Lucido, that big fat orange-headed pumpkin face, Macomb County Prosecutor. His name is, I'm using a correct screen here, Salvador Sam Lapari. There he is. He thinks he is Sam the Man with the purple Cadillac. And there's his bitch-ass terrorist son, who is CIA Macomb County Corporate Counsel, United States Army. He's contracted with KMG Prestige over at 7000 East 10 Mile Road, Centerline, Michigan, USA. And that's his dad, Sam. Well, he's the little bitch-ass Nazi that's here on the other side of DARPA, who deleted all these photos, and I had to actually go look them right back up. He sat there right here by Real-Time DARPA, over there with these Igors with an N, terrorists who are in fear of their lives. This sex trafficker, his dad, who got recruited when I got out of Macomb County Jail in May 2023. That's a real funny story. He begged me begged me to have sex with him, and I insulted him and humiliated him to his face. Okay, so that's what all this is about. So those are going to be hidden from the timeline and just saved. Well, this one is a post. That's a post that's staying. But all these other ones, there's Dottie Best, FBI. She friended me during the COVID biowarfare operation in 2020, and she's been insulting my intelligence with her ignorance for what has been 5 years. Okay, so let's stay on topic. Here we go. Bootlip, Dawn Mars, Great Oaks, Transitional Housing. Now, in this post is the recorded video call with Wayne County APS about Jeanette Diamond, Great Oaks, FEMA, terrorism, and human trafficking. Okay, that was after the cops came, and then and the house stunk so bad it was absolutely deplorable. It really turned bad on Department of Homeland Security's DHHS NGO contracted Jeanette Diamond, mentally ill Jeanette Diamond. The NGO is Easter Seals, where she gets her outpatient mental health treatment. And so if you listen to, you can find, here's the link. These are all on YouTube. One thing they have not been able to do is they can't get past Bill Gates and everybody else here with us, Israeli Mossad, to remove these YouTube videos off of YouTube. Okay, and there's a lot of them, and so all the Great Oaks videos are here. This is what and all the photos. Now here is a review about Great Oaks. Horrible experience. This guy's name is NTEIMAM, Jonathan. Okay, there's his name. Okay, so he says, horrible experience. They claim to be property managers and do home renovation. I gave them my house to manage, and they offered to get a contractor to renovate it. I agreed and paid them to renovate the house, and they brought homeless people to stay in my house, claiming that they have the right to stay in my house against my will because I delayed in paying them their balance on completion of the job. I paid them in full since November 30th, 2023, and as of today, January 23, 2024, they are still illegally occupying my property. And then they asked me to pay them to evict the people they brought to stay in my house illegally. I was astonished to find out online that the so-called contractor they brought to occupy my property and Great Oaks Transitional Home both had the same business address. Sounds like a scam. Yes, it's Department of Homeland Security, CIA, cult of Scientology, kidnapping and human trafficking, and it's Homeland operative and FEMA role-playing recruitment is what it is. Recruiting role players, low income, dirtball, bottom of the fucking barrel trash of America, working for their fucking food stamps or $200 or $300 cash under the table chump change in exchange for their participation in human trafficking terrorist operations. That's what Jeanette Diamond is. That's what all the illegals are. They're not illegals, folks. That's why they get your benefits. They're not stealing your benefits. They're not getting anything they don't qualify for. They're not illegal immigrants. They were brought here on these contracts for corporate espionage and kidnapping, human trafficking, murder, and terrorism against America. So, it's a bit more than a scam. Continuing. Unfortunately, they appeared to be getting away with it, as I have called the police several times to inform them that the police have refused to do anything. Well, imagine that. America's human trafficking, domestic terrorism, domestic terrorist of America's law enforcement, you big, fat, filthy, fucking disgusting, donut-eating fucking human traffickers and $10,000 worth of military issued body armor because guess what, dumb America? Okay, you can shut up, you stupid fools, with all your about defunding the police department. You fucking retards. That was done. That's been done over 20 years ago. That already happened in 2004, and it became official and signed by the fictitious character Barack Obama, who otherwise wouldn't exist if he wasn't manufactured. His name is Barry Sorboto, and he signed it and made it official in 2009. Your law enforcement is the military. They are the Department of Defense. Okay. Unfortunately, they appear to be getting away with it, as I have called the police several times to inform them, and the police have refused to do anything, as I am not physically present in Detroit, and I do not have another property manager to represent me. That is posted there, that guy's. So, again, we're talking about Great Lakes Transitional. Now, I'm not in a program. Okay, I'm not a role player or an operative. I'm far more important than that, and far more powerful and protected than that. I'm also not an American, okay? I'm an international. I'm an international of a very powerful global elite family. Okay, the family that controls your fucking lives, America. Okay, if you've heard of the Israeli agenda, that's what we're doing. Okay. This is a war against America, and America lost 5 years ago, and they've been hiding it from their dumb American public. Okay, here's Jeanette Diamond. Department of Homeland Security, DHHS, FEMA, and NGO Easter Seals mentally ill contracted Jeanette Diamond, who was contracted as an operative with Dawn and Ty Mars in Great Oaks for human trafficking against me, and I really fucking destroyed her, and which is what is actually really going on in the video. Okay, just to show you the kind of filth and the deplorable conditions. Oh, yes. So anyways, they completely frauded me about it being transitional housing. Stuart Zuckrow took me there last September 2024, in which I looked at it. I picked out a room, the most expensive room they had. They had a balcony on the back, and I secured it and rented it that day to move in on October 7th. Wasn't until I did the paperwork, then Bootlip hands me this card, and I questioned what was transitional housing. Well, as you can hear me explaining to the human trafficking Wayne County APS worker in the recorded call, she lied, and she said that was not the transitional housing. She said that the transitional housing is on the east side, and that it is for men parolees paroling and transitioning out of the penitentiary. What it is prisoners who are getting recruited for a CIA operative sacrificial pawn contract to commit America's crimes. And they do the prison reform and transitional programs, and they completely lied to me for purposes of human trafficking, and said that the house there at address, let me get the correct address. Okay, see, they make it, at address 12166 Monica Street, Detroit, Michigan 48204. Okay. For those of you who don't know, prison reform is the cult of Scientology. It is a Judeo-Christian satanic cult. Deep Satanism. Kidnapping, trafficking for purposes of human crucifixion, child butt fucking, human flesh eating, and human blood drinking cannibalism. That is what the cult of Scientology is. It is a huge secret society that over 50% of America belongs to. Okay. Now, so, they don't want to let Dawn, they're so paranoid, they're sitting here by DARPA, by real-time DARPA, which I'm going to do a post on that to explain what the highly classified triple top secret technology that Americans aren't supposed to know about is. So they're sitting here by real-time DARPA, making sure that the text, after they've done everything to stop me from being able to do this, they're not coming out in order. So we're going to go through Dawn Mars's text history right here, and we're going to make it a video, and we're going to post it. This narcissistic bootlip, human trafficking bootlip, Igor with an N. And oh my God, if you don't know what 300 pounds of bovine growth hormone jam-packed, busting at the seams into a pair of jeans with some 4-inch donkey eyelashes glued on with a 60-pound carpet weave to go with it. Oh my God, you ain't seen butt motherfucking ugly monkey face ape until you've seen that. So, Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. We're going to skip what's not important. Okay, she wants to verify, did I move in 12166 Monica on Saturday, September 7th, 20, okay. Yes, I have confirmed, okay. So these are not real important. Unfortunately, with the over 20K in building maintenance and repair costs, there is an increase. Okay, that was because they were forced to change out the windows because of the lead. Okay, and the windows, the toxic lead windows, stayed in open garbage bags. It was 3 or 4, I can't remember, in the backyard, thrown in the back of the house for, well, what was almost a year. It wasn't until around June 1st of 2025 that somebody finally came and got those. That's how they are. They're slumlords. These bags of lead windows that the city forced them to change sat out there all last fall, all winter, and all spring up until about June 1st, contaminating the environment. The cats are trying to get in them and everything. Okay, so these are not important. You know, she's a real narcissistic control freak who tries to, she thinks she's important, but she's not. She's just a bitch-ass Homeland operative in the cult of Scientology, kidnapping human trafficker is what she is. Okay, yes, I moved my stuff in. Here's the Orkin Pest Control. Now, you're going to see this repeatedly through it. Okay, however, I only saw Orkin Pest Control twice, and every time they said that they were coming, they didn't come. Okay, so I will show you where it gets good. Now, for anybody who's interested. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Attention all. I'll leave this and then I'll read it. Attention all. There is so much chaos and drama going on. I don't know where to start with this text message. Most importantly, Mr. Ty, that's her bootleg husband, her little bitch wifey of a husband. Yes, Ty will be there tomorrow to label the cabinets. If you have anything in the cabinets that is your personal belongings and not belonging to Great Oaks, please remove them ASAP. The kitchen will be for Great Oaks items only outside of your personal labeled shelves and cabinetry. Mr. Myers will be there tomorrow to put. It should have said Mr. Mars, her little wifey bitch of a husband. But I guess that's the AI, the artificial intelligence, is not real intelligence, so it doesn't always translate right. Mr. Mars will be there tomorrow to clarify the labels for each cabinet. Again, if you do not have your things in your designated cabinet, please remove them immediately so that Mr. Ty does not throw anything away that is not Great Oaks. Let me show you how filthy Great Oaks is. Okay, this is Great Oaks dishes. This does not really show up good in the video, but it is disgusting. Okay, I had my own dishes. I have all my own stuff. I don't use their stuff. They're trifling, disgusting people. And this is how all their dishes and their pots and pans and their upper are. You talk about greasy, dripping, musty ass, stinking filth. They are. Okay, Jeanette Diamond's filth. Okay, you talk about filth. Okay, now, here's me. See, there's a whole lot of narcissistic gaslighting and FEMA role-playing and terrorism for purposes of human trafficking going on in between the lines here that's not in text message. A lot of things have been deleted because they're really paranoid, so that's what I'm doing. I'm recuperating everything. That is the bigger issue in response. See what I did? I put their filthy see, Jeanette Diamond was cooking it. And I guess I was expected to cook in it. And that wasn't going to happen. And so at 6 o'clock in the morning, she was calling Miss Dawn, Miss Bootleg Human Trafficking Dawn, to tattle. So that is the bigger issue, filth and laziness. Myself and Miss Young clean up after the third housemaid daily. While she sleeps, eats, goes to the bathroom with the door wide open. Jeanette Diamond is such a filthy, trifling, lower life form, low-class diseased. Oh God, she's disgusting. She smells like pure fucking kidney fucking stench. As her kidneys, as her two kidneys that. Okay, they're not her kidneys, folks. They probably belonged to some poor victim who woke up in a hotel bathtub full of blood to find himself missing 2 organs. And this disgusting wench of a heifer, it just stinks like kidney disease. And she goes to the door with the bathroom wide open. Goes to the bathroom with the door wide open. And she does not wash her hands. The other problem is gossiping, backbiting, lies, and victim role-playing to play people against each other while she continuously speaks for me, including calling you for work orders to my room that I don't need, and the gaslighting to our face while on the phone with you. But see, that's what she's supposed to do. They're all, and Leah Washington Young, Okay, she's a human trafficking contracted operative Scientologist that's part of this. Miss Young had to clean her feces off the sink twice, and daily we have to clean all the food out of the drain, dump dirty dishwater left, clean the sponge with food left on it, clean food off the counters and floor before we can prepare our own food. She is playing the victim and telling lies right in our face, and it is on a level of creepy, folks. Creepy, like, all you gotta do is look at the picture I have posted there of Jeanette Diamond to understand what creepy means. Myself and Miss Young spent hours today scrubbing every inch of the kitchen. Then we went out for cabinet liners so we could wash and sanitize and line all the cabinets. When we got back, we had to clean her food up again. And that's when she ran to call you to play the poor victim role. See, this is while Miss Young was playing. She was playing two sides. Okay, she's the same one that told me that her sister poisoned her husband. Her sister's contracted with the same people. They're contracted as role players, but connected with the United States Post Office, which Miss Young's daughter works at, and so that's what they do. They poison people for CIA Department of Defense targeted individual and gang stalking operations under the Patriot Act. And Leah Washington Young is the one that was crying, talking about her sister. She can't believe how she's poisoning all these people and that she poisoned her husband. And she wants to report her to the International Court. And I gave her ICC Prosecutor Karim Khan's contact information and some reference information to include to make that report, which I know she did. Okay. She cannot put her food inside because just like myself, she can't reach. So I put that stool there for the house to use, and she said it's not a real stool. So she used it as a shelf instead so that nobody else can use it either. Laugh out loud. Okay, I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is what this fucking whore did. She took my stool and used it as a shelf for all her disgusting formaldehyde, aka Mountain Dew, because that's what Mountain Dew is. It's formaldehyde, because that's what America does. They poison their own people, and so that's my stool that she's using as a shelf. That is not okay. Okay. I am not immature like this, nor am I mentally ill. I do not call and text the landlord and bother people unless it's important. I am a mature adult and a respected professional, and this is embarrassing for me. But I assure you that I am not the source of the drama, neither is Miss Young, which turned out not to be true. Miss Young was playing two sides, and I was going along with it and playing her for no other reason, so then I can do what I have done and will, and am going. I got a whole lot on Leah Washington Young. She's good. She it's over for her. She's done. Done, diddy, done. Who, Miss Diamond? That's what I did. That's what I do. Okay, I play you Americans against each other. Okay, I run you through a psyop as the master in psychological warfare and mind control that I am, so I can get the reaction that I want, and then I'm always waiting for the video camera to expose and exploit you while you I am not immature like this, nor am I mentally ill. I do not call and text the landlord and bother people unless it's important. I am a mature adult and a respected professional, and this is embarrassing for me, but I assure you I am not the source of the drama, and neither is Miss Young, who Miss Diamond has gossiped and backbite to me about with lies about Miss Young, and she has done it on no less than 3 occasions from the first day I moved in. Okay, first of all, they're not landlords. To me, they were the landlords. That was the false impression that I was rented a room for purposes of human trafficking and terrorism against me. When the cops came, the cops kept insisting on calling them the staff. Who is the staff? Where is the staff? How often do you see the staff? What are your interactions with the staff? And I kept explaining to the cops over and over, as far as I'm concerned, there is no staff. There's a fucking landlord, and I don't have any more to do with them than an independent, mature adult renter should have to do with the fucking landlord. Okay? It is their business to collect the fucking rent on the first and to make repairs and adjustments accordingly as needed. Otherwise, the landlord stays the fuck out of my fucking business, just like the United States federal government and Department of Homeland Security better stay the fuck out of my fucking business. Just like RFK better stay the fuck out of my fucking business and take his wearable device and stick it up his own ass and nuke himself with it. Okay? Thank you for the update. Greetings all. Okay, this is about you have to pay them $20 to pay them the rent for renting their room. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, so put my rent in the Dropbox. Okay, here we go. There's Jeanette Diamond's role play, and that's supposed to fall back on me and make me look like I did it, but I went there with 2 great big huge jugs of my own laundry detergent. I don't use Homeland shit because I wasn't in a program. Greetings all. Whoever grabbed the laundry pods that were on the storage side opposite of the washer and dryer and put them on the laundry shelf going forward, please do not do so without speaking to me first. Everything that is on the storage side of the basement is Great Oak's property. If I put household supplies over there, it is not for anyone to use unless otherwise noted. I was informed that there were no laundry pods, and I knew that I had a new box down there. I made a trip over there to put them out, and they were already out. Not only did they interfere with my inventory, but it was a wasted trip over there. Inventory my ass. This fucking whore takes fucking Homeland fucking funding, okay? Including the funding they were getting from me when I wasn't even in a fucking program. Funding without my knowledge and consent. Okay, and as you can see further in the text messages, and you can hear in the recorded video call with the human trafficking criminal of Wayne County's APS, I buy my own products, okay? I bought my own toilet paper, my own fucking laundry soap, I bought my own paper towel, I bought my own Clorox wipes, okay? Now, this is funny. Okay, since I'm the human trafficking victim of their terrorism, okay, and they're running a cult of Scientology, Homeland Security, human trafficking terrorist operation over there under FEMA, funded by the terrorist funding, enabling, and supporting voting and tax-paying American public. Okay, I was the one that wasn't supposed to know that the lights have to stay on 24 hours a day. And that is for the ring cam. That boot lip sits there and habitually spies on. Okay, and I was the human trafficking victim of terrorists over their FEMA terrorism, who isn't supposed to know that. So, I was turning off the lights in the day, and I had mentioned to Miss Diamond very, very politely, okay, that to keep in mind that just because utilities are included doesn't mean we don't pay for that. And like any rental situation, any normal rental situation, which this was not, okay, as the cost of living goes up and things increase, well, the landlord has to raise the rent, right? Right, because that's how it works in a normal rental situation, which this was not. This was human, Homeland, Scientology, human trafficking, and FEMA terrorism. So Jeanette Diamond did what Jeanette Diamond does. She ran and called Miss Dawn and told Miss Dawn that Miss Salem is being mean and nasty and she's so rude. And she says that nobody's allowed to use the lights. So then when Bootlip, before Bootlip could call me, because I heard FEMA role player on the phone. So before Bootlip could call me with her narcissistic gaslighting that she's doesn't have the intellect to run on me, the power or the protection, I've got in front of it. Just to clarify the truth of what the situation really is, numerous times a day, 3 times yesterday and 3 already today, Miss Diamond turns on lights and leaves them on. Not at night, but in the day. After she goes back to her room where she stays all day, wasting energy in empty rooms for no reason, almost as if it's on purpose. I've not been rude. I have polite asked her to be mindful, respectful, and aware of the fact that cost of living does fall back on us. She is not being honest and is not the poor victim. I also turn the basement lights off in an empty basement several times a week. And they got it tricked out with fucking cameras every fucking where. Miss Diamond likes to manufacture a problem that otherwise would not be to make others look bad. I am just aware and responsible of the fact that this wasteful behavior does cost somebody, even if it is included in our rent, which will go up to mean extra costs. That's all it is. So, here we go with Bootlip's narcissistic demands. Miss Salem. Hi, Miss Salem. This is Miss. When you get this message, please give me a call. Greetings, all. There is a mandatory house meeting this Saturday, November 23rd, 24. Greetings, all. There is a mandatory house meeting this Saturday, tomorrow, November 23rd, 2024 at 5 p.m. in the lower unit. Now, we were at that mandatory role-playing meeting. My biggest mistake was not videoing it. Bootlip with her 4-inch glued-on donkey eyelashes that I hope she goes blind from, staring at me through them, and mentally ill FEMA contracted role player Jeanette Diamond sitting to my right, and god-awful, self-hating, racist Leo Washington Young, who hates everybody because she hates the color of her own skin that she's in, was standing up against the wall. Now, the self-hating racist Leah Young had been two-facing everybody else, and she was all up under me, going shopping with me, sharing taxis with me, in my room eating gummies with me, talking big shit about everybody, okay, talking about that damn Jeanette Diamond is a federal agent and all this, and she's right, she is. She's not an agent, she's a contracted sacrificial pawn. And sacrificed herself, that she did. Okay, so, at the meeting, I sat right there, and I said, Well, this was the second time. Back up. About 5 days before this, the previous week, I had said to Dawn's wifey bitch of a husband, Ty Mars, when he came in to designate the cabinet space and bring a real stool, some $17 piece of fucking crap that he probably got from Five and Below that didn't even stand level on the floor. You know, America's expensive, cheap, shiny plastic fucking shit that's fucking garbage, plastic and aluminum shit. Okay, so I said, I had told him that day that Jeanette Diamond's mental health is a threat to me. The woman is seriously mentally ill, and it's a threat to my survival, and it is a threat to my livelihood. And he stopped me and allowed Jeanette Diamond to stand there and gaslight me in my face. And so then I brought it up to Bootlip over the table at the mandatory house meeting, and my exact words were, Miss Diamond's mental health is a threat to me, and she is in outpatient mental health at Easter Seals in Pontiac, Michigan, which she herself told me. She told me that she is on daily psychotropic drugs and that she's been in and out of the psychiatric institution numerous times. And if she doesn't take her psychotropic drugs every day, she will go psychotic and end up back in the hospital. And so I was gaslit when I said that. Here's Jeanette Diamond next to me who speaks up like she's in some kind of authority. And she says, well then, here's how it went. Miss Diamond's mental health is a threat to me. And then I went on to explain that yes, she, by her own admission, she herself told me. Okay, and then Miss Diamond yells, well, then if you feel threatened, you need to leave. And then Bootlip, Igor with an N, staring at me through her 4-inch long glued on donkey eyelashes that I hope she goes blind from with her 60-pound carpet weave, says to me, that's right. If you feel threatened, you should leave. That's how that went. And then there was the self-hating racist Leah Washington Young leaning up against the wall, who up at that point had been like my BFF. And they started falsely accusing me of washing Leah Young's trifling grease out of her weaponized Teflon frying pan that she left on the stove, which I didn't do, and dumping a pot full of days-old, I guess it ended up being fish grease that Jeanette Diamond had sitting on the stove in a pot for over a week, which I did not do. I did not wash or dump anything. I picked both items up and I set them aside over on the counter so I could sanitize and clean the 9 inches of swine grease all over the stove, because these are a filthy kind of a culture. These people come from a filthy culture. These Iggers, they don't wipe their stoves. It's always been that way. In the 35 years that I've had experiences going in their homes, okay, these Iggers with an N do not. They got a thing, okay? You know, they're frying up chitlins, they're frying up chicken, they're frying up all kinds of stuff, frying up swine. Okay, they do not wipe their stoves. I'm not trifling. I'm not disgusting. I always wipe the stove after I use it. Always. The stove, the counter. I clean, sanitize, I dry the sink after I use it. These are a trifling, disgusted, lower life form of America's lowest, filthiest, trifling life forms there is. They don't clean stoves, they don't clean the sinks, they don't empty the garbage, as you will see. I also have photos on there of the kitchen garbage overflowing with Jeanette Diamond's shitty diapers. And for the last whole month I was there was big puddles of Jeanette Diamond shit dripped on the kitchen floor that Leah Young had laid newspaper over, and the same with the bathroom. Well, I wasn't using the bathroom or the kitchen. I was gone anywhere from 2 to 10 days a month. Okay, staying where I am now. I'm renting. I'm using a cabin right now, and it's wonderful. It's great. Or I went to Planet Fitness and I used the bathroom there. So that's what was okay. Now here we go with Boot Lips gaslighting. The plumber just left and stated he found food and grease in the drain in the basement. This is the second time that he's come out because the drains were backed up and found food and grease in the sink. The sink is not a garbage disposal. Please do not put food or grease down the drains. If this happens again, the plumbing bill will be split between you. All is putting food and grease down the drain that is negligent. No, it wasn't all. It was filthy, trifling, disgusting Jeanette Diamond. Okay? There was no way I was going to pay for it. Now, just to back up a little bit, on my first day moving in, I paid $450 for a moving company to move me in on October 7th. And this place was so disgusting. I was cleaning the space as I was putting my stuff in. And there were baby cockroaches. Okay? And Jeanette Diamond seen it too. And Jeanette Diamond took a picture of it and she texted to Dawn. And Dawn called and blew a fucking gasket, narcissistically gaslighting and accusing me of bringing bugs in her house. My stuff was not even unpacked yet. It was day one. And I lost my spot. I'm trying to find where we were. And she threatened that she was going to make me pay for the insects. And so now this is the second time. Okay, we were there already. This is the second time this fucking fat whore, 300 fucking pounds of bovine growth hormone, tried to narcissistically and gaslight me to pay for her shit. Thank you for the update. Greeting all, Mr. Macy, Lionel Macy. Okay, this is very important for any law enforcement agents listening. He still gets mail there. Okay? Matter of fact, they get numerous people's mail. I'm talking Social Security mail, Department of Health and Human Services mail, banking mail, numerous people. Okay, Mr. Lionel Macy was one of them. Greetings all, Mr. Macy, room 5 is no longer a resident of Great Oaks and is not allowed in the building without staff present. Now, I have reason to believe that something may or may not happen to him. I don't know the details, so I'll let America's kidnapping, trafficking, murdering terrorists of America's law enforcement agencies figure that out. Because if you don't, the international court will. Okay. Here we go. Here we go with the plumber again. Or was this the same one? Yep, that was the same one. That's where we left off. Okay, here's their little fucking role-playing shit. Liked, it's back on. Okay, I got a whole text history of Jeanette Diamond before I even moved in there and met her. And then Bootlip has a Bootlip brother that lives upstairs. What is his name? Nesbitt. His last name, Leon Nesbitt, I think his name is, and he looks just like the ugly bitch. I swear to God he does. Okay, and I have a whole entire text history of those liked responses from him. Okay. that's a psyop. There's something to that. Those of you who are contracted role players in FEMA, you know what is going on with those. Greetings all, new resident, second floor, room 5, Mr. John Bynum, Bynum. Yeah, New Year's. I wasn't there New Year's. I was gone for like 10 days because it was so disgusting. I needed a clean bathroom and a kitchen to use. Good morning, all. No one is expected to clean up after others. I shouldn't have to say this. Miss Diamond, please clean up the feces. Now, this is Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. Good morning, all. No one is expected to clean up after others. I shouldn't have to say this. Miss Diamond, please clean up the feces that you left in the bathroom and food and spills from the kitchen floor, counter, and refrigerator handled. And apparently, the entire bathroom needs to be cleaned. Okay, just to make sure you can see this. I understand about your eyes. However, it's a problem when you're not cleaning, sweeping, mopping, cleaning counters, fridge, tub, sink, etc. Please clean the entire bathroom, which she didn't do, I did. When you get feces on the toilet, the entire bathroom should be cleaned. Miss Young and Miss Salem should not be the only ones cleaning the house. The bathroom needs to be sterilized, not just wiped off. Well, y'all can see in the video recording how Jeanette Diamond cleans a bathroom, how she cleans her own shit off of that she leaves for everybody else to sit on. Okay. Greeting all, new resident, Mr. Bynum, room 5, Mr. McPherson, room 4, upper unit. Probably new contractor role players. Okay, here we go about the fucking Orkin who I never saw past October. Okay, here's more. You can't see it in this. Jeanette Diamond's fucking shit all over the fucking place. There is very obvious feces splattered on the toilet seat and outer side of the bathtub. I already cleaned up feces that was not my own twice since yesterday morning. This morning. Rather than clean it again, I'm going out to find a clean bathroom. Thank you for the update. I will address. I just addressed it with Miss Diamond. Okay, here we go. More shit all over the place on January 18th, 2025. Okay, I did wipe the toilet off so I could sit on it, but I did not clean and sanitize, and I'm just going to go take my shower at Planet Fitness after I had to leave Monday night for this same shit splattered on the top and outer walls of the bathtub. This bathroom here is gross. Here's Boot Lip. Okay. Well, no, that's Jeanette Diamond's voice. Boot Lip is okay. Okay, now, here's more shit for everybody in the house to have to sit on. Miss Diamond, this is important. This is important. Now, let's review, let's see the date. What date was this? This is very important for what happened with the cops and the APS in April. Okay, I recorded the APS calls. This is January 18th, 2025. Here we go. Miss Diamond, this is a constant problem. No one should have to clean up your feces before they can use the bathroom. Okay. Miss Diamond's food all in the drain because I'm not paying the fucking bill. So what I started doing was I followed the lead. I got in on the little role playing psyop they were all running, and I started doing the tattling too and texting Miss Dawn because I wasn't gonna pay for their shit. Okay. All I have to call, and I have to, so that I text this one to Dawn, right here. And then Dawn texts it back with a fucking lie. And I have to call the plumber back out because of the sink being stopped up. The person that's putting his food in there is going to pay for it. It's not a his, it's a her. And no, she didn't call no fucking plumber out. She used my photo and she fucking lied. Now this is important. Very, very important for the investigation. And this was January 20th, 25. Miss Diamond, you are constant with leaving feces all over the bathroom and not cleaning up behind yourself. You will need to get a caregiver or help to clean for you or find someplace else to live. Please clean up the bathroom now so that others can use it. Miss Diamond, please give me a call ASAP. She never did clean it. I did. This is me trying to find out why my rent isn't cash. She just deposited a check just now. Later on, you'll see how she tried to steal my rent. Could you please insist that Miss Diamond close the bathroom door when on the toilet? That was February 4th, okay? There's nothing more disgusting than filthy, oh God, filthy, disgusting Jeanette Diamond with 2 stolen kidneys rotting inside of her body and shit everywhere, sitting on the fucking toilet with the fucking bathroom door wide open that everybody has to walk right past and look at. Okay. These photos are on Facebook and the videos you can see better. Okay, now this is very important. This was February 6, 2025, and this is important to the investigation that is ongoing. We need toilet bowl cleaner. I am using the last of it to clean up somebody else's bacterial fecal matter again. Okay, now that was February 6th. I moved out beginning of June. She never ever did put toilet bowl cleaner. Never. Oh my, okay, says Bootlip. If possible, can you bring some kind of air freshener? This house stinks like fish and shit. Myself and whoever else have been opening the windows trying to air this place out all week. Thank you. Now, here we go with Jeanette Diamond's role playing that was supposed to be meant for me. The new windows, the $20,000 new windows. Okay, that weren't. Okay. Somebody deliberately and intentionally, after that text message, this is how immature and retarded, vaccine damaged, dumb America's contracted role players are. Okay, remember, these are like the bottom of the fucking garbage can of America. Okay, that white piece is a piece of the new window on the rubber mat in the bathtub. Behind that blue shower curtain there, up on the wall, over to the right, is the window. It is not even scientifically possible that it could have ended up there. What it was Jeanette Diamond's role playing. Jeanette Diamond did what Jeanette Diamond does. She laid it there. Here it is, so she could accuse me. See, here it is. That's where it's broken out. So she could tell Miss Dawn, Miss Salem, when she was opening the windows, she broke it. Okay, and then Miss Dawn would narcissistically gaslight me about having to pay for it. Bullshit. I did what they do. Okay, I spun it around. Because I do know these are new windows, FYI, I found this broken piece of window frame in the bathtub. I have no idea of how, but it was not broke last time I was in there, about an hour or more ago. I put the broken piece on the shelf over the toilet. Okay, now here's where they still tried to swing it around on me. good afternoon. I don't supply air fresheners, so that's something you would need to buy. What the hell happened to the window? She's in my pictures here. What the hell happened to the window again? Now look, here we go. Here this bootlit bitch starts fucking with her gaslighting. If you both were opening windows, which one of you did this? Miss Salem, I am told that you are the only person who opened windows. Neither Miss Diamond nor Miss Young opened any windows, which is a fucking lie. Okay. Yes, I did open the window. I did not break it. Somebody else did close it after me, which I noticed at the same time I entered and saw the plastic piece in the tub, which I then saw it went to the window when I was on the toilet. I never said I did not open it, nor do I know or care about what Miss Young or Miss Diamond did or didn't do. I don't know who this bootlit bitch thinks she is. Miss Salem, for you to say we were all opening windows when it was only you is not acceptable. I'm gonna show this bootlit bitch what is and what isn't acceptable. I have my own life as a grown, middle-aged, independent adult. I am not in a program or on a contract. I did not break nothing, and I am not accepting any blame. I will not be the victim of role-playing. I didn't do it. I reject all blame. I am the one who quietly leaves first thing in the morning and had to get out of bed at 8:30 a.m. to go to the gym for a clean toilet and bath. To be very clear and honest, I have never been anything but polite and respectful, and I only reported what I found out of respect and courtesy for you, the landlord. I will not be gaslit or involved in this immature role-playing. That is not what I said. That is not what I said or ever tried to imply, as I did say I opened the window because of the stench today. I don't know who opens them otherwise, because I stay in my room or I am gone for days on end, most weeks, so I can depend on a clean bathroom and not be exposed to extreme E. coli fecal matter that is not my own. I don't clog your sink, I didn't break your windows, and I didn't bring bugs on 10/7. I do respect your home as the home that I am renting as a home, in quotes, of my own. I do have self-respect and dignity and respect for others, and I am too intelligent to be gaslit. Thank you, have a good night, bootlip. There we go. I was gone for 10 days at this time. This was on February 12th, 2025. I was not here. Good afternoon, ladies. Please be careful not to let things from the shelf fall into the toilet, or if it does, take it out before flushing. This is the second time that the plumber said that there was a hard object in the toilet. 2 times food and grease in the kitchen sink. This is negligent, and I am not paying for negligence going forward. No. This is, I guess, from the plumber. I wasn't able to pull it out, but I pushed it through, but it felt real hard, like a toothbrush that you never know. Good morning, all. FYI, the batteries in your bedroom doorknob will be replaced today. Okay, here we go with the organ shit again. The invisible pesticide people. Miss Salem, I just missed your call. Okay, now here's where Bootlip tries to steal my rent. Here's the receipt for my rent. March 1st, 2025, $545 to Great Oaks. Okay. Here's a copy of my email. Page 1. Great Oaks, Dawn Mars. Yes, this invoice was paid. Check number 170 in the amount of $545, which was post-dated. Now, just to back up here, right here, that's why this was important. Okay, Bootlips, little wifey bitch of a husband, came to change the doors on Friday, February 28th, 2025. Okay, I put my rent check directly in his hand. A rent check that was post-dated for the 1st, but they somehow cashed before that, and then they said I didn't pay it. And it did not show up as cash by Great Oaks like it usually does with my bank. Great Oaks, Dawn Mars. Yes, this invoice was paid. Check number 170 in the amount of $545, which was post-dated for 3/1/2025, was cashed on 2/28/2025 after I put it directly into Ty Mars's hand on 2/27/2025 when he was changing the door batteries. How a post-dated check was cashed before the date and before the money was taken, and before the money that was taken out was deposited was even possible, I don't know. But as verified, yes, it was. Now, I've had to tell this bootlip bitch my bank accounts are monitored more than once. Great Oaks, Dawn Mars. Yes, okay, well, no. Okay. My accounts are monitored by the UN, whose protection I am under as a protected witness, international intelligence agent, and as one of the victims in a human trafficking investigation. See, I was setting this video we're doing right now, I was setting this all up back then. That's why I put everything in writing in detail like this. Okay. So, here we go. Okay, they cashed a post-dated check on the they cashed it on the 28th. It was post-dated until March 1st. They cashed it on February 28th before the money was even there. Okay. Now, here's the continuing. My accounts are monitored by the UN, whose protection I am under as a protected witness, international intelligence agent, and one of the victims in a human trafficking investigation in which my daughter is a missing person, as a result of past previous crimes of targeted retaliation. All of my accounts and transactions are monitored, as I did previously mention when Bank of America was sending me fraud alerts for the 1/1/2025 check, which needed my approval, which is one reason why I pay my bills a month ahead, which you then said you could no longer accept because it messes up your books. Now, what it was when I first moved in, like I do everywhere, I had my rent paid up ahead in advance. Oh, these lowlifes, these trifling lowlifes, they were real happy about that at first and told me numerous times they appreciated that. Then KMG Prestige told them to do the same thing they did to me and tell me at the mandatory role-playing house meeting that they could no longer accept my rent paid ahead because that messes up her books. Okay, now what it was because that's how then they can't steal your rent and say you didn't pay it and unlawfully displace you, like Sing Development has tried to do to me. I have recordings of that from I just found the recordings from that from years ago. That's gonna get exploited. Lawrence Park, KMG's Lawrence Park did it. I have taken care of it. The portal has been updated. Sorry for the delay. Lying ass gaslighting bitch. Sunday, March 23rd. I believe this may be after the cops came, and I fucking ignored it. Miss Salem, please give me a call as soon as you get this message. Thank you. Miss Salem, this is Miss Dawn. Please give me a call as soon as you get this message. I ignored him. I had enough of this narcissistic gaslighting, human trafficking, boot lip, monkey face ape. Now we're at Tuesday, April 3rd. Liked. Hello, Miss Dawn Nesbitt. Ren is in the drop. Okay, there's a little psyop thing. Okay, now here's me. My rent has not been cashed. It has been in the box since 3/31/2025. What day did we say this was? This was April 3rd. I made deposits today. I asked you to call me almost 2 weeks ago. Did you not get my message? No. I did not get your message. I told you before that I often don't even power up this device for days, and I keep my notifications off on all my devices as a lifestyle choice. Would you like me to call you now, bitch? Yes, that would be great. So, I called her. She wanted to know what happened with the cops and the APS. And her power was stripped away. All her narcissistic gaslighting power. And, so then we come up here to April 20th. Now this is because, okay, like you can see the pictures better on Facebook and in the videos, but I think you see the shit all over the toilet. And it was all over the bathtub, the floor, and everything. Okay, and this was after the APS and the cops had been there. So I was in the bathroom making the video, and Leah Washington Young, as she's supposed to do, heard me and called Miss Dawn. Tell Miss Dawn, oh hell nah, this bitch is in here. She's taking pictures and video of the house, you know, all their spy technology and shit, all their fucking ring cameras, all their fucking role playing, they're fucking paranoid. So that's what this was about. Oh, I ain't called her a bitch because I ain't got nothing to say to her. I texted her these pictures of Jeanette Diamond shit. And this is what I've said. Is it about this? The bacterial E. coli fecal matter that is not my own. I just had to clean with my own hand for the second time this week. First thing in the morning before I could use the bathroom. Is it about the shower head that I also had to scrub dried E. coli fecal matter off of? If so, there is no poor victim. I cleaned it again and I didn't say anything to the person who was responsible. I am now trying to get dressed and have my morning coffee after having to scrub shit first thing this morning. I am not doing this immature role playing with a bunch of fucking kids. I didn't say fucking. I didn't know. To continue. Let me know if you still want me to call before this device powers off and I go about my day. Thanks. First thing, several mornings a week. This is lack of respect for self and others, and it is violating. Goddamn right it is. Okay. Shit, all of it. down to the fucking floor. Shit everywhere. People. So, Bootlip didn't respond. Okay. She knew how that call was gonna go. There was something important to this. Let me... Mind you, this was after the cops and the APS. They were already paranoid of this because it was going... And the APS had been there to the house to visit. I regret that I didn't video that. But I basically said all the same things, but more than I said in the recorded call. This is important. This is a safety and health threat to self and others, and I will not be gaslit and intimidated over somebody else's shit that I have to clean by my own hand just to use the bathroom. Here we go. This is important. For the same reasons I've already stated. And this was on April 24th, 2025. Greetings all. The plumber will be there to snake the toilet. Miss Diamond, I have advised you before that you were putting too much toilet paper in the toilet. And also last time he found something hard in there that he had to push through, like a hard brush. I am not paying for this plumbing bill. It will be your responsibility. Now just to back up, at this same time that this happened, okay, the shower head was caked with dry shit. From somebody sticking it up their fucking shitty asshole. Just as my voodoo bottle was. For those who don't know, a voodoo bottle is to keep water in it to wash after you use the bathroom. It is for sacred spiritual purification. And I found on this same day my voodoo bottle under the bathroom sink, caked with Jeanette Diamond's dried shit, and there was about a 1/4 inch of white, cloudy, murky water with shit floating in it in the bottom of it. If that ain't disgusting, I don't know what is. Okay, now here we go. This was the day this was one of the days it was literally raining in the bathroom. Ty Mars's, you can't see it, but you can see it in the videos. You can hear it raining. It's raining right into shit. Ty Mars's Jimmy Rig handyman work. Okay? Everything in that house is Jimmy Rig, Igor Rig, or whatever you want to call it. I prefer Igor rigged. That's what it is. Igor rigged with an N. The plumber should be there around 10. No plumber came. Days later. I'm talking days later. The wifey bitch of a husband came. Ty Mars. My rent in the deposit box. Yes. Here we go. Saturday, May 3rd, 2025. Greetings. I was on Monica today, and the smell slapped me in the face at the door. FYI, I had Mr. Thomas deep clean the bathroom in Miss Diamond's room today on Miss Diamond's behalf, and she covered the cleaning cloth, but she is unable to do so herself at this time. Now, they made the woman sit on a towel. She was not allowed to sit on the couch while this Mr. Thomas came over and completely he had to do all the laundry. He had to sanitize the bathroom, sanitize Jeanette Diamond's room, and everything. It was horrific, and she was not even allowed to sit on the furniture. She had to sit on a towel. Because of her stench, because of the kidneys rotting inside of her disgusting body. And then the next day, here we were with shit all over the toilet. It was on the inner walls of the bathtub. It was on the floor. Feces all over the toilet and floor. Here it is on the inner walls of the tub. You can see it a lot better in the videos, which are uploaded. Feces all over the inside of the bathtub, less than 20 hours after the deep cleaning. I am standing over the toilet to shit like an animal and will again have no bath before I will expose myself to this filth and infectious disease. And don't reaction. I'm sorry. I will reach out to this time. It's pointless. Even if she did get up to clean it, there is nothing in terms of toilet bowl cleaner for about 3 months, and there is no antibacterial. I will not use the bathroom anyways and will instead make myself sick again by holding my own bladder and bowels until I can get to the gym or somebody else's house. How fucking embarrassing, you digger. You fucking filthy fucking bootlick digger. How embarrassing. Here she lies right through her teeth. Mr. Todd is actually the AI that can't translate her Ubangi language. It's Mr. Ty, the wifey bitch of the husband. Mr. Ty. There are cleaning supplies, and Mr. Ty re-upped the cleaning supplies yesterday. I guess you're just not looking underneath the cabinet when you complained before that there was no supplies. There were. Yeah, well, I got a videotape that's been exploited widely that says otherwise. A videotape that was so fucking bad that the cops responded to it, and so did the APS. And no, Fabioso from the dollar store is not antibacterial, okay? She's supposed to be moving out on Friday, and then I will have someone come clean the bathroom. So, in other words, those of us like myself who is paying $545 a month, we had to stay again from Sunday, May 4th, 2025 until it was some point where's the date? Oh, until it was some point after the following Friday that we had to wait for the bathroom to be clean. Right here in Bootlip, by Dawn Mars' own admission, that I will be using in court because I'm getting every single thing. First of all, calling her tomorrow, let her know I did not get my security deposit. She still owes me a $200 security deposit. She was supposed to be sending me 2 months ago. I didn't get it. Calling her tomorrow. She's going to have the option to direct deposit it into my bank account. That is what better happen. And I am taking these people to court right here in America. And I'm taking every bit of every penny I have ever given them back. Plus, I am suing for my time, my punitive damages, which is worth $5,000 itself, and I am suing for physical, mental, psychological, and emotional distress. Okay? And then, after next Friday, okay, this was on Sunday, after next Friday, she will have something back. Not to mention, we all paid a non-refundable $100 cleaning fee when we moved in. At least I did. Okay, well, I was under the impression when I paid that to move in October 7th, I was under the impression that means that the room would be cleaned for me to move in. Nope, it was disgusting. It was trifling. There was eager hair grease caked in all the drawers. Jane Gall was there with me as my witness. I stood there and I had to scrape Eager grease with watch springs and film stuck in it out of all the dresser drawers that I was expected to put my clothes in. I spent 12 hours my first night cleaning that room, scrubbing the floor. Leah Washington Young told me, she said, girl, she said, I am so glad that you cleaned that room. She said, because the gentleman that was in there, she said, oh, he was so filthy, he was staying so bad. Okay, it was filthy. So, what the $100 non-refundable cleaning fee is for? Probably for Dawn Mars's Donkey Kong glued-on eyelashes that I hope she goes blind, or for her 60-pound carpet cleaner. That's probably what the $100 non-refundable cleaning fee is for. Okay. They got in there and they got this bitch out. They wheeled her out of there real early. I didn't even hear it. Miss Young said that she did. Real early in the morning. Oh, here we go. The Oregon guy that I never seen again. All of her stuff went in the trash. They kept her food and everything. And they threw all her mail. I got a video of that. All her mail went in the garbage. All her mail that kept continuing to come. DHHS, Social Security, Medicare, Humana, banking shit all went right into the garbage. I made a video of that. It's a 5-year felony. 5-year federal felony. Okay, here we go with the fucking working guy again that I never seen past October. Okay. Oh no, I take that back. He did come this time. This time. That was the first time I had actually seen him, and it was probably because they had just got filthy ass to McDonald's up there. Here we go. With their narcissistic demands. Miss Salem, this is Miss Dawn. Please give me a call. Okay, I did call the bitch, and I recorded it, and I accidentally deleted it, and she didn't get a word in edgewise. What this was about was because self-hating racist Leah Washington Young, who absolutely hates the entire world because she hates the color of her own skin that she's in, and it's our fault that God cursed her. Okay? She went on a rampage, one of her self-hating, angry fucking rampages, where she was slamming stuff, slamming doors, slamming cupboards, slamming the refrigerator, slamming the freezer. I'm like, please, motherfuckers, fuck off, with all her banging, slang, yelling, just self. You know how we are. Okay? So, she slammed the freezer and, the food went, the handle for the shelf broke and food went all over the floor, including my bunch of frozen bananas. I just picked those up, and I had some other things there that I didn't give a fuck about. I left it there. And all of Jeanette Diamond's stuff was on the floor. My Jeanette Diamond was already gone now. This is where they all stole their stuff and split it up. You know, and threw all Jeanette Diamond belonged in the garbage, including her mail. So Miss Diamond Miss Young kept looking at me like, bitch, you gonna pick it up? And I kept just like acting like I didn't even see the self-hating nigger. Well, I just kept stepping over it, and it was enraging her, and enraging her, and enraging her more. So she went and called Dawn. So I answered the phone, and Dawn says, Miss Salem, could you please go pick up whatever you... Oh, I guess, she's like, I guess there's a problem with the freezer door is broke, and so if you could go pick up any stuff you have on the floor so your housemate doesn't have to touch your food. I've already picked up my bunch of bananas. I've been walking over the stuff all morning. What the problem is it's self-hating, racist anger. I said she's been slamming doors, she's been slamming the refrigerator, she's been slamming cupboards while she walks around here in her self-hating rant all day long. I says, and I just let it roll off my back. I don't have time for all this self-hating immaturity, role-playing shit. I told Dawn, I said, this is a mentally ill household. And Dawn goes, okay, Miss Salem, this conversation's over. Hung up. Okay. They're all mentally ill. Young told me herself, Leah Washington Young, she told me herself she has numerous personality disorders, she said. She was out on my balcony, sitting out on my balcony smoking with me, and all of a sudden, her energy shifted. She was laughing and joking and having a good time talking about these people. We were gossiping the fuck out of these people one minute, and then all of a sudden her energy shifted. Her alter ego clicked in. and she her face changed, and she's like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get to my room and be by myself. I was like, are you okay? Is something wrong? She's like, I have numerous personality disorders and I need to get out of here and go be by myself and go meditate. Okay. I don't know what these are. These are after I was gone, July 7th. This was between her and her bootlet brother upstairs, Leon Nesbitt. Don Nesbitt, Mars's brother, Leon Nesbitt, who's, oh my God, okay. He looks exactly, if you take her 60-pound weave off her head, and you snatch off those 4-inch glued-on donkey eyelashes, they look like identical twins, two motherfucking monkeys. So I didn't even open these because I wasn't even there by then, and they're not important to me. Now, here's the bootlet brother, Leon Nesbitt. His phone number is 313-721-3064. Why he continues... See, they do the same thing with the people upstairs. It's role-playing, folks. See, these aren't for me. Why I need to get these, I don't know. The men live upstairs, the women live downstairs, and we're not supposed to know that he's her monkey-faced brother, so he, always refers to her like Miss Nesbitt. So, they do the same thing. Well, he does. He's something else, that guy. See, they take pictures and they tell on each other and stuff. Okay. Here they're having a problem because somebody took up too much room in the freezer. They were doing this role-playing against that, Lionel Macy that I mentioned earlier. They were doing the role-playing against him. Now let me show you this, too. You got Jeanette Diamond's role-playing. This fucking whore was doing this before I even met her. I didn't move in till... Listen, folks, I did not move in here till October 7th. This fucking shit started September 27th, okay, from Dawn. Okay, and now here's September 30th. And this fucking whore, Jeanette Diamond, this mentally ill FEMA contracted slut, okay? This is what they... Why this fucking disgusting fucking trifling bitch should have been... I told you, this is role-playing shit. It's FEMA role-playing shit. Okay? Okay, here she says, I sterilized the toilet. It was a little drop on the toilet. I could not even see it. It was so small with my eyes, which I am having cataract removed at the end of the month. My right eye, and next month my left eye. I really cannot see. I don't mean to leave anything unclean. I am sorry. Look. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to text Jeanette Diamond the links to all these videos and Facebook posts about her. Usually they have to sign NDAs that they can't look at Facebook or social media, so they don't realize what kind of